wake up, everybody. This for everybody. Come together, everybody. It's time for everybody. Tryna reach everybody. Say everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EraBody's podcast, where generations collide and cultures combine. Today we have a great show for you. Today we have a mega creator. This dude is epic on so many levels of creativity, and his name is Hollywood Pompeii. We're going to get into that a little more later on in the episode. But for now, I'm your boy, Ricky.
And I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker himself. What's up, Rick?
What's going on, D?
Man, we gonna have a hot Christmas, Rick. That's the first thing I'm gonna let you know.
I
All
do
right,
know that.
all right. Put your winter clothes. You can put your summer clothes out in New Orleans so hot.
Yes, sir.
Man, why we can't just get
Consistent weather?
Yeah, man. That's why we sick down here, man. We can get it consistent. If it's gonna be 50, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Let us get, man. Y'all, the rest of the country, if y'all don't know, we going from 50 one Monday, Tuesday we be at 70.
Yep.
We even had 79 last week.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, it's winter or fall right now.
It feels like spring.
Man, we got good spring weather, all right? Outside weather, boy, we having a time in New Orleans, boy. Weather like this, man, we don't let it go by, all right?
Sure.
But, man, we didn't have this on yesterday, man. Level Up campaign did it again. You guys do amazing work, man.
Yeah.
The toy drive, it was packed and stacked.
It was packed and stacked. I
Man.
feel like over 300 families, youth and families came out, bro. It was overwhelming to a certain point. You know, like it was really a great event. We ain't expect because I think 200 people signed up.
Yeah.
But we had enough toys for maybe 400 or 500 people.
Right.
So at the end, once we got exhausted, I ain't gonna lie to you, D. It was just so many people. Everybody had a good time. They had crafts activities, the hot s'mores. We missed out on the movie because it was just too many moving parts.
Right.
But I'm talking about everybody had a smile on their face, bro. It was good. It was great.
I want to say this especially to the people that I'm not into the holiday. I like to see people happy.
Mm-hmm.
So if they got a good toy sale, I know what it's like for kids just to have something or whatever. So it's not so much with me dealing with Christmas. If you would have gave us toys in October, we would have, got a good deal and gave it out in October. So I'm proud to see that we doing events like this and the opportunity, not just for the Level Up campaign, but so many opportunities that we know we didn't have.
Yeah.
Nobody, they used to have it in the Superdome. I think you stand in that line for hours and get one toy.
One toy. Yeah.
And now these events, the parent that may not be financially stable can go to one of these events and make, a good Christmas for their child.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what it's about.
That's all it's about.
Making some families are less fortunate,
Right.
and right after Christmas is bill time.
Right.
So this little, these gestures help.
Right.
And right now I see so many people getting involved. Like Toys for Tots has been really generous to a lot of organizations, including us. But this is the first year we actually participated with Toys for Tots.
And man, yesterday there are so many toy drives or
Yeah.
whatever. There's so many. So to the mothers out there or whatever, the fathers, the families that need assistance or whatever, I think that using online to see what these events at. Oftentimes we say they don't have nothing going on in our community, but from school gift bags to taking the kids to the Tulane game. That was my first time. You took us to the Tulane game, and it was great.
Yeah.
So the Level Up campaign is known for doing things like that, getting kids involved. And if you want your kids involved, Rick, how can they get ready to be a sponsor for the Level Up campaign, be a volunteer for the Level Up campaign, or they need some assistance from the Level Up? Where would they reach y'all at?
Yeah, so you can reach us through the website, which is www.thelevelupcamp.org.
All right.
And also the phone number is 504, directly to the executive director is 504-533-1652. It's just that simple.
Get involved, man. All right. We cannot. I truly believe that if everybody do a little, everybody don't have to do a lot.
Yes,
so
sir.
whatever the day that we can put, soon as and I hate this, soon as a black man make it to the NFL, it's like all the pressure on that one person. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. One person cannot change a whole city, change a whole community. They cannot. It take us as a group or whatever. And like I said, if everybody carry their weight, we could make a tremendous difference.
I totally agree. But before we jump over that segment, I want to give a huge shout out to all the sponsors too.
Man.
Domino's, Papa John's, the Foot Doctor who you introduced us to.
Dr. Clark, shouts out.
Dr. Clark. Yeah, thank you for, making these young people's day.
Man.
The Malia neighborhood organization. It was a lot of moving parts, bro.
Yeah.
Kip East. Can't forget them for letting us host it there.
Right.
And yeah, everything was beautiful.
Man, and that's what you look for in events like that. And the kids, when they're on these breaks right here, and I like, you don't just give a toy drive, you actually give a day. Mm-hmm. So what that do is, we know my mother used to say, an idle mind is a devil workshop, which is mean when you ain't got nothing to do. And oftentimes when these kids go on break, they'll be sitting around anyway, not doing nothing, looking for something to get into. So when you got something like this for them to do, to occupy their time and their mind, to keep them out of trouble, and give them something to do, and when they take them toys home, because I know them toys ain't going to make it to a gift wrap and under the tree.
No, they got to bust that
yeah, they about
now.
to bust that over. Yeah, they about to get involved, so now they got something else to play with or whatever to keep them occupied.
Yes,
we definitely did that, man, and shouts out once again to all the sponsors, man. You guys are amazing, and 26 going to be, you got anything new coming up in 26?
Oh, of course. We definitely escalating the way we do the seasonal events.
Right.
And, I'm partnering with my brother, Darren right here, with Enhanced Financial Foundation, I'm sorry. And we have a bunch of major things planned. So we're going to roll that out in 2026.
Yeah, 26 going to be an amazing year.
Yeah.
In other news, now, I'm asking you, petty or not? We have our mayor that's in office now, LaToya Cantrell, a.k.a. Titi. All right, she's in office right now. We have Mayor-elect and Council President Helena Moreno. She put up some banners on Gallery Hall, and the mayor took them down.
Yeah.
So is that petty or not?
It just depends on how you look at it. I feel like it's a little petty and shady, activity that's going on. But again, like you mentioned, before the show, that she's still the mayor. She's still utilizing that facility.
Right. So
I feel like I'm in between. I don't really have a side to pick on that.
And I will ask you a question. Do you think, and this like, if I love backstories, y'all. I love watching backstories. Which means if the Super Bowl happened, something happened, a big concert, I love to see what's going on in behind the scenes. That give me clarity on before I make a statement. What I know about even Michael Jordan, I found out that Michael Irvin, they had several big-time receivers that could have came to the Cowboys, and he went to the office and rejected them not to come. Now, some people be say, man, that's hating, and I'm going to get back to my point. But Michael Irvin said, you won't find a team with 2 Hall of Famers. So for me to get to the Hall of Fame, I can't have another Hall of Fame receiver.
What?
So Tim Brown from the Oakland Raiders, he rejected that. And now he told him at the Hall of Fame thing, he said, both of us wouldn't be here. One of us would not make it if we were playing with one quarterback, back then how football is. So, and I find out that the bigger the celebrity, the more petty they are.
Oh, so
Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, certain things that they have blocked because I'm me.
Yeah.
Jay-Z have put a block on certain things. And when you understand that, I think it come with a level. Michael Jackson, he have blocked certain things.
Yeah, so you going with petty.
You have to be. Because you get a level of power that I'm going to utilize that. That's just like right now in a certain building, if Michael Jackson say they making too much noise over there, they would have to stop. And you may think it, man, we're a black band, but Michael Jackson say, I don't want to hear that right now. I'm trying to work on my music or whatever. So, and it's one of those situations that, and you might not like it, but she's the mayor.
Yeah. So, all right. Since you said petty or not, is that logical or strategic? Is it?
It's human nature.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I never met a dog or somebody that got that dog in them that don't have that. Don't play with me. Most of the people that I like people like Kobe. It's certain things you're not gonna do to me or try to slight me. They're not gonna take it easy. They're gonna react in that manner. Man, nah. Hopping in Kobe Bryant going somewhere and he got a one of the transportation cars picking him up. You take his transportation car and try to make him get in there last, to try to purposely make him look bad.
Yeah.
He not going. He'll get you traded.
Yeah.
But all of them have it like that.
Right.
So when I'm looking at her, I think Helena did it as. I don't think she did it out of the kindness of her heart. Like, I'm just coming in and just the things because I'm gonna do my inauguration over here, and I just wanted to have this up. I don't think it was that. I think it. You know what? I called 2 times. She won't answer the phone. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead on and put some banners up.
Come on.
And then America turned around and said, "Bitch, hold on.
I
ain't going for that. But I'm gonna show you I ain't going for that. Go take it. Watch him put it up.
Yeah.
Now go take it down." Until January 12th, I sit in his office.
Right.
Everything that's going on with the city, I signed for.
I agree, though.
So, and it's one of those things, the people might say it's petty, but I think when you get in those positions, you got to make people respect you.
Yeah.
And if they don't, you become a walking mat.
Yeah.
Now, is it petty to the second power? I think so, but I think that you got to protect your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
well,
yeah.
You totally right, bro. Like I said, I'm still in between on it. Because it's more that go on behind the scene that
that we like I said,
right.
and I really think that between both administration that could have been communicated before it got to the news. Well, look, we want to do it on this day, and as I stated, the mayor just released her painting, because every mayor have a picture of them painted in Gallery Hall.
Okay.
So I think the mayor, this just me as a leader, I'm still utilizing this building here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want my administration coming in. It's just like I'm winning the mayor and you the present mayor, and you still using the building, but I gotta come in. Rick start putting his flyers up and everything, and I'm like, nah, man.
Right.
You could have did that on January 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still utilizing this building, and it's still my administration. So I want my picture to still be up. So I think to me it was more of that. I'm still utilizing this building, but they put it up by the museum. They put it back up at the museum, and the mayor didn't go take it down. So that's why I'm saying if it was communicated between both of the parties, they probably would have told them, look, you can go put it over there because I'm not utilizing that building.
Right.
But over here, I'm still popping over here. Yeah. Okay. So it's one of those. But politics is ugly in New Orleans, y'all. I don't know how it is in y'all city, but it get real bad over here. And we got I think a positive, and it seems like when black men do something, we came with the quarter zips. You should see some of the women responding to black men saying, you know what, I'm not gonna wear my pants sagging, looking like they complaining about the sagging movement.
Right.
They complaining about the skinny movement. Now they complain about the quarter zip movement.
Right.
Then they come back. Now the rappers have stated that, and prominent rappers, get out the streets, man. Y'all get out the streets, man. Get out the streets. So that's been a movement the last couple of days where rappers getting in front of a microphone, declaring and decreeing that, man, y'all get out the streets, man. And that's what we've been wanting. Now they getting backlash from some people over that. So is it whatever the black man do, it'll never be accepted in this world?
I just feel like that again, that's another two-headed sword, you know. I feel like the movement itself is great. But is it coming from truly relevant individuals?
Who know better than, I would say, if you don't know rap and you're not a historian, Mac was on his rise, No Limit artist, and Mac got himself involved in something. And as you could look at so many interviews when he talk about it, not only did he then shoot the guy, he did over 20 years in Angola. It can go to so many levels, as your mama tell you, you are who you hang with. He was around some guys. They had guns. He didn't. Should I tell on them? Should I not? But when the evidence come back out, the sheriff wanted him. They got somebody that willing to take the plea, but he was the biggest name. The man didn't want him to take the plea, and he wind up going to do 20-some years in jail. So he said, man, I'm proud of you guys or whatever. So it gets no better than we have 3 artists, Boosie, Mac, and C Murder, that's popular, that was in the jail since being with street stuff.
Right.
So now when you get him, I think C Murder also sent out a message saying, man, look, if you could save yourself, get out this situation, man, because it's a Rick. If we in the street now, you expecting me to do 40 years, but I can do 5 if I tell on you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I still, like most of the activity I feel like is going on by the YN. So if a person like Young Boy, who's the ultimate artist right now for these young people as far as influence,
right?
If he's not a person who admitted his involvement into that movement, how relevant is it for the change? And we talking about older seasoned individuals.
All right, and I would say this to Dad. I think that the day that we can wait to when we just talked about the community thing, the day that we can wait for Archie Manning, Tyler Perry to come do a job that we can do, I think if we just keep working, if he want to come on aboard, yes. It'll be a tremendous influence, but I won't water it down because he's not involved in it.
No, I know how we see it, but what I'm saying is like a movement like that, you have to,
you want the big names.
You want, the most relevant artists during this time.
And that's, remember the We Are the World, when all the top artists from Michael Jackson, all of them, they sung that song We Are the World. Right. And I think that was right after the AIDS pandemic or whatever. It was like trying to save the world, but it was all the heavyweights. Right. I see what you're saying, in their prime, in your time.
Right.
So a lot of guys that's not in their prime anymore, they have said it. But man, to every rapper that's out there, young or old, man, it's not doing us any justice. We're beefing. We don't make any money off of beef.
Right.
And a lot of times, that's where we lose our guys at. I don't want to ever be in a situation over some foolishness to trying to decide whether I'm going to do 40 years and keep it real or go home and Rick got to do 40 or do life and I got to tell on him. So as men, you don't have to, even though I'm 41, you could receive this message at 20 if you're a 20-year-old out there. You could receive this message at 18. Don't put yourself in that situation, because once you're in that situation, now everything that you talked about in that rap, you got to stand on, and now you tap your whole life. You're not there for your family. You're not there to see your mother in her last days. You're not there to be an asset in your community. You're just not there as a man.
Right.
So we take ourselves out of there. But I would love for some of the heavyweight artists to step up and say, you know what, man? It ain't worthy, or whatever.
That would be ideal, because their influence is just so, is off the Richter, bro.
Right.
Like, and it's needed. Like I said, I respect the movement. I respect all the artists who is actually behind the movement. But it's time that, we come out of our own, selfishness too, and pull the young popping artists in. So, because they platforms and the way the algorithms work too, those seasoned artists who's actually doing this, a lot of these youngsters, they don't get that news on their feed.
Right.
Because how the algorithms work.
Right.
So it's important that they pull it in and really make it a movement.
Right, right. And I will say this also to to our sisters out there. Me and Rick, you have heard us say this with Brother Hakeem on the thing. You judge a man by the woman he picked. A lot of times that women, we can't have it both ways. You complain so much about what the black man is not doing, but when you step up to the plate and start doing it, it's like we get complaints on every level, Rick. We get complaints. I remember the Saget movie. I was part of the Saget movie. Pull your pants up.
The tall T, huh?
Yeah, man, put y'all pants. Y'all look so trifling.
Yeah.
Then they went to the skinny movement. Came to, them pants so tight or whatever. They suspect. And now these brothers went to quarter zips, and now you complaining about that. So, where we at in society when you're dealing with your brothers? Do you want us to change? Are we able to elevate? Because me and Rick went from the Sagging Pants movement, and that's why it's critical that when they say you raise your child how you should, their return. We went to the sagging movement. Now we, as men, we understand. Mm-hmm. So where are we at right now? Where we at with you guys? Are we able to elevate and get better? Or you gonna put us in a box and we only can be that or whatever? So we have to stop that or whatever. And we want to get better. And
And I feel like we will.
Yeah.
Because, fellas, we are too identifying the ignorance, and like you say, how important a significant other is.
Yeah.
I think fellas are about to start making those important decisions because, women are the backbone to a lot of what we have.
And I will say, not only the backbone, and when I go to court, that's who I see in that courtroom,
Yep.
the black woman.
Yep.
From birth, it won't be possible if she wasn't in the delivery room. So you have been there every step of the way. But to me, Rick, a lot of them have let society misguide them.
Yeah.
A lot of our sisters, and it's not going off topic, it's in the same topic. And they do things based on what other society, what they think the popular people are doing, but that's misleading information. The sister has always grown with a man, and he only can grow as high as the woman next to him. That's no different than any other race. You only can go as high as the producer of your future leaders.
I agree.
So
it's ignorance.
My personal definition of ignorance is a lack of understanding.
A lack of understanding.
So that's why when people come to me and ask me why I love history so much, I always go dig into what was.
Mm-hmm.
So when I dig into what was, that's how I can know. And when I study the black family from the beginning, it was always us and our sister. We run hand in hand.
Yeah.
It's no other way. And if we ever gonna get to the level or to the next level, we need this more than ever.
I agree.
So in 26, I want you to get off social media about your relationship, and you get with your own better half, and y'all discuss these things and fix it, because we cannot win without our better half.
I totally agree.
No race can. We're going to take a quick commercial break right quick, and this episode is brought to you by Everybody's Coffee. Let's have a drink.
For everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. And as we promised, man, we got the multi-talented creator in the house right now, Hollywood Pompeii. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. What up, America? It's your boy Hollywood Pompeii, a.k.a. Pistol for Shizzle. My nizzle, you ready to know how I sizzle when I drizzle. You dig?
Y'all caught all that, huh?
What's up, Hollywood?
What's going on,
man?
baby?
Man, you have been tremendous. I want you to do us a favor. I want you to introduce yourself to our audience if they didn't know who Hollywood was. Introduce them to you.
My name's Hollywood Pompeii. I am the founder and one of the owners of HPS, Hollywood Pompeii Studios. I'm also an entrepreneur, philanthropist, artist. Do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? I'm a dad, so yeah.
Yes. I want to ask you. I'm gonna start it like this. This thing we call hip hop.
Right.
How did you walk into this? How did you get into hip hop?
So I was young. I want to say between 9 and 10, somewhere around there. And my mom had came home one night. We was living with my mom, me and my two brothers, and she just came home mad late at night with a Fuji CD. Like, this was the most random thing in the world. She woke me up. I never forget. I used to sleep on the top bunk, and she just woke me up mad late at night. She was mad happy, and she handed me this Fuji CD with a CD player, and I went to sleep listening to that Fuji CD that night. And ever since that night, I just fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah. It's definitely a life changer.
Yeah.
And I would say that many people have asked, what is your race? If you want to go there.
I'm Afro-Caribbean.
Afro-Caribbean. Well, I know that. Break that down to some people that will have to put that in perspective.
So I'm from the Caribbean islands, and I got an afro, and my skin is brown.
So on a situation like that, with the Caribbean islands,
Yeah.
What age you came to America?
No, I was born here, so my family is Caribbean. I'm third generation American, so my family been here.
Right.
Yeah, they've been here. So the Caribbean islands, we all identify as Caribbean, but everybody got their own little twist. So like Haitian is Caribbean, Jamaican is Caribbean. We all family. All of us are family, but we all got our own little twist. Unfortunately, out of all the Caribbean islands, Puerto Rico, the island that my family is from, is still being colonized by America today. So we're not a free country. So when people ask what I am, I'm American because the colonizers got my land. You feel what I'm saying? They got my people's land. So
And what is this called? It's not a state. It's called a what?
it's called a colony, but the politically correct term that they like to use to take the light off of colonization is territory.
Territory. All right. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. Hold on, Rick, before you go to this question. Look right there on camera.
Yeah.
President Trump is in office right now.
Yeah.
You would like that territory to become the 51st state, right?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and ask the man for a favor. I'm sure he a fan. He a fan of the show. All right, go ahead and ask the president.
You said when we wanted as a 51st state.
You wanted to be separate.
No. Our land deserves to be a free country like everybody else's.
So you would like to.
Yeah,
Well, so you
Puerto
want to cut the chain?
Yeah, Puerto
Right.
Rico needs to be a free country.
My man.
Yeah.
So you heard that President Trump or whatever. I know you're watching. You're gonna watch it Wednesday night at 9 p.m. or whatever. We love to have you on before you get out of office.
Shout out my man Trump too, man. I like Donnie. If anybody can make that happen, I'm sure it could be him.
Right.
He could set up a nice embargo. You know what's crazy is the reason why I say that is because the most mangoes on American soil, grown on American soil, is from Puerto Rico. But the people from Puerto Rico don't have the right to trade those products. The most coffee beans grown on American soil, not in the world, on American soil, comes from Puerto Rico. Yet we still outsource and we buy coffee from Mexico, we buy coffee from Colombia, we buy coffee from all these places. And I'm not saying we can't, but it's against the law for Puerto Ricans to sell any of those things that they produce on their own land. They can't sell it.
And that's crazy. That's like us getting seafood in Louisiana and can't profit from the seafood.
It's bad enough we are a colony, but
Right.
we can't even get a little bit of money. But we could get food stamps, welfare. We could get all those things that would bring our people down and shackle us to the chains. But we don't have an economy. We don't have a free economy. We have no trade. We have no representation. And everybody throws the word colonizer around so loosely, but like there's still a colony that exists in America today, and nobody speaks about it.
I'm glad you.
It also sounds like you the voice for it.
So-
You know, like you. I know you. You know what I'm saying? From behind the scene of some of the things that you do. Like every time I see a video or something go on, I see Pompeii, like Pompeii. So it's good to put a face with the
Appreciate
actual production. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the voice and the knowledge that you obtain, bro, like that be the thing, D. You know, not
Right.
enough people speak up for things
Right.
And we
that, you know, resonate with us. Like you gotta, and everybody not strong enough to do that either.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But Trump, you heard the man, bro. Come on, man. Freedom people. Freedom people, man.
and I would say this: do you think it's a disconnect between us on the mainland as your brothers in the colony, our brothers?
Absolutely. I think with the Caribbean islands in general, there's a misconception because I got cousins, right? So we're just gonna address the elephant in the room. What it is there's a lot of colorism, right? I got a brother that's just as dark as everybody in this room. I'm just a light skinned brother, right? But this is my biological brother. Like you would meet my brother and you would think he came from like Africa or Haiti or something. This is my biological brother. Same mama, same everything. So America is not the only place that got, you know, light skinned brown people and dark skinned brown people. So people see the Caribbean islands and they're like, and they see dark people in the Caribbean islands and they're like, oh, you Puerto Rican? Like, yeah, we put like. Just like everywhere else, just like Africa, just like everywhere else, Haiti got light-skinned people, got dark. Look at Sean Paul. Sean Paul is Jamaican. Sean Paul's Jamaican. But people have this conception when you say Jamaican, automatically you got to be a Rasta, you got to have the locks, you got to speak a certain kind of way. But Sean Paul is everything on the contrary. He a bald-headed white guy from Jamaica, speak pure patois. You know what I mean? You can't tell that man he not Jamaican. He not white, he's Jamaican. Now, if we talk about skin color, that's another thing. And I think people get that misconception. There's nationality, there's race, and there's skin color. You know what I mean? So, but where I'm from, we all shades the same way. America, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Africa. You go to Africa, there's light skin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So where did you grow up in New Orleans? You moved straight here? Like, is this?
Nah, I moved here about 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 years ago. So I was born and raised on the East Coast. And at about 19, I started my journey and I started venturing out. So every like 5 to 7 years since then, I lived in a different place.
Okay.
So you got two of the new zones. You got New York and then you got New Orleans.
Yeah.
What is the difference between the two? And give us some of the experience that you have in New York. And what is the same between the two places?
It's really the same all across the board except for the food and the way everybody talks. And the obvious things like the weather and the trees and stuff like that. But as far as culture, the culture is pretty similar in a sense where art is being preserved. In New York they preserve the arts, they preserve the music and stuff like that. So although the art and the music might be different down here, the vibe of preservation and the vibe of taking pride in the arts is definitely the same. So it was something I was able to resonate with and get in the groove of quick because I come from that up there. But I don't think there's a place in the world that screams culture more than New Orleans. That I would say hands down. And the food here is the best.
What part of New Orleans did you navigate to once you came here?
All over. So I initially moved into Metairie, but all my business was being held in the city.
Okay.
So
Metairie, not New Orleans.
No, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All my business was being held in the city.
Okay.
So I slept in Metairie, but I lived in New Orleans.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, cause I only sleep maybe like 6 hours a day. So if I'm wherever you at most of the time, that's where you live. So I just slept in Metairie, and I got my mail in Metairie, but I lived uptown, I lived downtown, I lived in the east, I lived everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, I got you. I'm with you.
Yeah, my feet was on the ground.
And I will say that as I started coming, you have a studio.
Yes.
And your studio is like no other studio. I mean, we got sets in there. You have they can record. It's basically you get anything done. It's like a Walmart.
Yeah.
or whatever. So they can come.
Right.
So, and they got guys that been down here, and me and you have talked about it before that they got certain guys that just visionaries.
Right.
And if you put a vision behind work, that's how Rick is. I can outwork you. Right. So your education or whatever your mom and daddy is never gonna add up to my work ethic.
Right.
So, and I seen it come up. So now they got guys in the city that might not like you because they might be like culture vulture, or he doing too much, and I could do it if I wanted. Those guys, but you ain't got to.
No, and if you could do it, if you want it, I encourage you to go do it. And if you think I'm doing too much, I'm not doing enough. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, that's it. And I pray that everybody win. And this is the biggest thing. If you don't like me, at least let me be motivation. Beat me.
Right.
Go do something great. And just try to, like, you know what I mean, outdo whatever I'm doing, because all that does is it adds thread to the culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's okay to compete, but don't be scared. You know what I mean? So, like, and fear looks like, I hate that dude or forget that dude, or I'm not trying to cuss in that, but fear comes in a form of shade, or in the form of like downplaying situations. Courageousness is like, I'm gonna beat that dude. I'm gonna do it better because I can and I'm capable,
right? And
not out of hate, but out of sheer inspiration and knowing that I can.
They have a thing me and Rick just talked about at our last segment. It's going out right now where rappers have saying, man, get rid of the streets.
Right.
Get rid of the streets. What you think about that?
No. I think at some point you gotta grow up and get out of the streets. But if the streets wasn't around for somebody like me, I wouldn't have been in a position to even do the things that I learned. A lot of my lessons in the streets. So a lot of us don't have parents, right? And now what do? We just become slaves to the system because there's not a streets there to teach us a lesson. So I'm all for the streets, but at some point you got to decide, do you want to stay in them or do you want to get out of them? And if the streets are there to shape you, I'm okay with that, because people got to bump their head and learn lessons in life. We all come from different walks of life, so taking away the streets is taking away some of our walk. Some of us are literally born into that.
Right.
So to take that away is to, pretty much to take away the identity of a lot of things that came from this thing and that was seeded in this thing. You know what I mean?
How you put that.
I like how you put it too. And I'm just about to ask you, I want you to answer this question too, Rick. When you're dealing with hip hop in our culture, the streets is like our studio. Is what give us the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if you take it away, then you took the inspiration away.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we go about make the streets better? How do we make it? How do we take it from a studio to a classroom in a university where we could produce quality, but without the.
I think people overthink that too much. I don't think we have to, and I don't think we should. I think that's part of the rite of passage. Back in the day, tribes where we all came from used to take they young into the woods and be like, "Listen, man, come back with a tiger, come back with a wolf." It's just, you know what I mean? Like, listen, if you come from the yacht club family and your rite of passage is going to a board school where you don't got mommy and daddy around you anymore, right?
Right.
That's our rite of passage. We can't make it easier. We can't take it away. Some people are meant to get lost in that, and that's part of the only the strong survive and evolution and survival of the fittest. And some of those weaker links, unfortunately, have to diminish or go through those things in order for other people to be inspired by those mistakes and be stronger and do better. So I think that kind of, we can't take away that rite of passage. It makes our men.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But on the contrary of it, I feel like the times we are in today,
right,
we are more weak as individuals,
right,
and much easily influenced.
right.
So I feel, back in the day, everything wasn't just even so hardcore like that. People adapted to that because that's what they heard and that's what resonated within them. But now what we seeing, even growing, raising 3 young boys,
right,
1 teenager at the current moment, but it's like he listened to a whole lot of young boy and shit. But you ain't dealing with none. I had to deal with more of the shit that he talking about than you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But you and this bitch, I'm on my own and all that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the music though. That's not really the streets. So like we just got to do a really good job as parents, because I have kids too. I have adult children, and we just got to do a really good job, I feel like, at letting them know, like, hey, this is entertainment, and a lot of these entertainers aren't even from these streets that we talk about. Like, a lot of them are not, and don't really have the right to have an opinion, a lot of them, you know what I mean? Let alone we gave them a seat at the table and let them be representation of a place that they're not from. And that's cool. We'll let you play the sport, but you don't really have an opinion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a referee in this thing.
Right.
Just keep playing the sport, and we gonna call the fouls.
Yeah. And I would say, to add to just that, to put some context.
And I'm sorry. And OGs got to do their job better now.
I agree with that
part.
I agree.
We had better OGs.
Yeah,
I agree. Back in the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I will say this to mine. The reason why I wanted to turn it into a university and get it out of there. I grew up in the Desire Project. The largest project in the United States, sits on 93 acres of land, 13,000 people, 13,000 residents on lease. I always say 20,000 people because I know families, probably more than that. But I will say this. When you don't own and control the justice that's brought to you, you created a game, but the rules, every time the consequences come down, we don't control. The court do. We don't control that system. So we say, if we don't turn it into university, then what happened is, when they're out there in the streets and they change the criminal laws, now we suffer the consequences, but our OGs didn't make the rules to what the consequences is for this. If you do this, what the consequences is. At least if we take it in university wise, start educating. I feel as though when I go to Harlem and I see those guys on the street teaching and everything, that's what I mean by university, start teaching. Yeah. So now
I'm in agreement with
all
of that.
So but when you don't bring down the consequences, we suffer. When you look at the jailhouse statistics, who in the jailhouse more?
But let me ask you a question. Where do you see those guys? Because I know exactly what guys you're talking about. You're talking about the Nation of Islam, the Israelites, all of those dudes, right? Where do you see them at?
In the streets.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm trying to say.
So what I'm saying
that's a university.
I get it. I get it.
So,
but it's part of that street culture, though.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, if we change any of it, those guys that are there to educate us, where we could get some of that education, they off the streets too, because that's part That it's threaded in that culture.
Right.
We can't just cherry pick the streets is the streets, period. And everything comes with it. The preachers, the gospel, the good, the bad, the ugly.
And I would say this. So if you learn how to do graffiti, and this is what I mean, we got to take it to a university. If you learn how to do graffiti, every time the train stop, you take your paint out, and that's how you got good. Rick, every time somebody get abandoned building, you learn how to do it like that.
Right.
I'm coming behind y'all. You don't have to teach me that way. You can actually, from off y'all to inspiration, you can actually come in this class and I can learn there and I can be just as good. But I may not have the experience of running from the police every time because I'm doing something illegal. That's why I'm saying we have to turn it, our inspiration into a university where we could teach them better. But if you expecting me to do the same thing that you doing and you got 10 felonies on your record right now because defacing a train is a felony crime, and now for me to get the passage, I got to go do the same thing. It's like we're not changing. Let's better it.
So we're losing 2 minutes to the law, not the streets.
But we don't control the law. That's why I'm saying we got to revamp the streets.
And this is so
because we don't control the law.
It gets very very sensitive in those areas though, because a lot of these things are culture driven, right?
Right.
So, and I'm speaking from being in that culture. Those guys that come up not doing it in the streets, and I'm not glorifying the streets at all by no means, because you got guys that like Picasso that never painted in the streets and they're huge, right? But that's a different kind of art, right?
Right.
And he's validated in what he does. So we can't go encouraging people to steal culture either, right? So graffiti, right? And I'm just using that as a topic. That's a form of street art or vandalism what makes it valuable and what makes it different. The art isn't necessarily the painting. The art is going in, going out, not getting caught, being able to do it under this extreme pressure, the mystery and how did they get up that high? How did they do that? So the colors are pretty and this and that, but at that point it's not graffiti, you just painted, right? So graffiti itself, the culture of it,
you got to be willing to go to jail.
Right, and it's a counterculture. No, that's just what it is.
It is.
Right? That's just what
comes with it.
But they pay millions of dollars for some of these.
And I would say this. Remember the first restaurant me and you ever went at, and they had that gate around that wall. I told you about it the other day. What that was?
What his name was? Bosky paint or something?
Bosky,
No, the one you're talking about, that was
no
not Basquiat, that was Banksy.
Banksy. Yeah. So he took me to a restaurant and they had a gate around. I was like, why they got it? He was like, man, me and him got the picture. Our very first picture that we took, it was a Banksy or whatever. Right. And like you say,
you think it'd be worth that much if that man asked permission everywhere he went to go do that on?
No.
And nobody knows what he looks like. Nobody knows who he is.
And I would say this. I always tell people this, and I'm just piggyback off what you just said. It's better to go ahead and do it than ask for permission. Because if you were the greatest artist and you think you up there, with the football team that just won the championship, Carr.
Oh yeah, Carr.
If you go ask the principal, can I put a cougar spray painted on the driveway? He's gonna say no. Right. So on Saturday and Sunday when school closed, you might as well go ahead and do it. Right. And if he see how good it is, he gonna say keep it there. Right. But if you go ask, it's gonna be no, because he don't know exactly what you can do. Right. But if you just go do it, and he be like, wow, and all the kids like it, they're gonna say go ahead and keep it. Right. So I always believe in that.
But it's not for everybody, and I don't encourage everybody to go jump in the streets and do illegal stuff. So that's not
right.
That's not the point. Yeah, that's definitely not the point that I'm making. But what I'm saying basically is like it gets sticky because the culture that we come from or that we are aiming to protect and preserve. This culture comes from gray areas and from
risk taking.
Yeah, and so once you change that, it's not that anymore. So it loses its value because of it's not authentic to where it came from.
Right, tremendously. So. Going into right now, what did you notice about the rap things? You deal with rappers all the time. I mean, it's not a time that I come and they don't have a significant rapper up in there. We was with Mac the other day, not the kid. Right. There's always somebody stopping at the Pompeii studio. What is it like when you get these? Do you like working with those vets, or you like those new artists that come in there or whatever?
A little bit of both. I enjoy working with the vets for the sake of culture preservation, and I grew up listening to them, so it's a wow moment for me. But I really enjoy working with the youth because that's where this thing is going. So I get to see like where it came from through working with the vets, but then I get a lot of inspiration and just a lot of curiosity as to where this thing is going. Good curiosity because we're working with some really dope youth.
I let you listen to the song the other day, and it was AI.
Yeah.
You like the song.
Right.
We're here now.
Right.
AI is here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you're a hip hop, you love the history of it.
Right.
Is this a upgrade in hip hop, downgrade? It's just where hip hop going because it always changes.
Right.
So this is a phase that we in, like what T-Pain was doing.
Auto-tune.
Auto-tune. Is this a new auto-tune?
I could see it. I think it's starting off like that, but with how technology is going and where technology is going, what's happening is hip hop is becoming bigger, and it's not just a genre anymore. It's more of like an umbrella because now you got a bunch of things coming up under hip hop. And I think with technology, what's going to happen is AI is going to have an umbrella under hip hop, and there's going to be AI hip hop. And that'll be a thing for people that are into like, you know, computers, that don't go outside, that love hip hop music, that want to create all of that kind of stuff. So and it'll be getting away from where hip hop started, but so does the furthest leaf on the furthest branch of a tree.
Right.
And it's okay because it still came from that tree. You know what I mean? Right. So I think we're just watching technology take hip hop, not necessarily in a different direction, but giving it different sub branches and different categories.
Right. So you accept it?
I accept it as far as technology, not really as far as an art. Like I accept the iPhone, you know what I mean? I accept the computer. I'm not looking at that, and I will never look at it as an art form. I will look at it as a form of entertainment. To me, a clown isn't an artist, but they're entertaining, right? And same thing with AI music and AI hip hop. It's entertainment, but it's not an artist.
So do you think that will negatively affect the real artists because these AI artists are so perfect?
That's what I think is going to help the real artists. Is I don't like AI music all too much. I can listen to it when it comes on, but it's too perfect. And there's an artistry sometimes in being a human and in slipping up and in messing up. Even in the best radio song from a human and the best producer, you can hear the imperfections, you can hear the little breaths, you can hear maybe a little bit of nervousness, or you can hear the choking up in a voice, you can hear the emotion, and you're not going to be able to get any of those things from robots. So I encourage them to keep putting out the AI music because the fans of real music are going to buy more, want more, and they're going to engage more with real artists. So
right, that's a good take on it. When we first heard the song the other day, man, I liked it. But when you're not in music, me and Rick, Rick, you hear the input? I can't hear it.
I can hear it. You know, I
So
started as an artist.
Yeah.
You know, like I have an artist background for the last 13 years. You know, I gave it up a little now to get more into my adulthood.
Right.
But yeah, you definitely can hear how perfect everything is.
Right. Well, it's an ear for it. You definitely and I just watched Steve Harvey on interview when he took Michael Jackson to church. He said Michael Jackson was in there when the choir was singing. He could hear. He was like, "Man, you heard how they let the guitar come in on the such and such playing a G flat?" And Steve Harvey not in music like me. Like what? You don't understand. So it's definitely an ear and a respect level for it. But I hear you getting back into music.
yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been away from?
10 years since my last project, and I want to say 14 years since my last deal.
So is it harder now once you step away?
No, because I got everything that I need in order, so now I could really be an artist with no problem. I'm not being an artist chasing a bag like I was when I was younger, accepting any deal that I get. You know, I had a couple bad deals when I was young, and I wouldn't even say bad deals. I had decent situations. I was just I didn't have the right know-how.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a little bit easier now because I own everything,
Yes, sir.
and I'm in a position where I could just have fun with it.
Yeah, and a lot of artists don't understand that aspect
Right.
of it. You know, You go out, you have to pay for your studio time. You have to pay for your engineer.
Right.
You have to pay for your videos. And you went and put all this stuff in one place for yourself.
Right.
And that's what a lot of artists miss during the process. Do you feel like that is a contributing fact to you jumping back in from you putting those pieces together, or are you just that much in love with the art?
I think it all kind of plays a factor. Really, both my managers, Bags and Jamie, are the real reason why I got back into music. Bags had acquired my catalog from the last label that I was at, so we were just putting it out just so we can make a little revenue. And then Jamie was like, hey, let me shoot a couple videos. And then one day Kid came by and he was like, man, this stuff is really good. And then we were like, all right, let's just take this thing serious now. But at first we were just playing with it because we had over 100 songs that we have the rights to that we're like, man, this is free money. Let's just put it out. And then once Bags put it out and we started getting some good responses and people like Kid.
Like, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
We're going to take a quick commercial break right quick. This episode was sponsored by EraBody's Coffee.
For everybody,
Welcome back, man. I told y'all Hollywood. We told y'all we get the best guests, and Hollywood's gonna come on, drop some of this knowledge or whatever. We left off talking about his return to the music business. I don't think he ever left since you producing and everything. Right. I think you pulled the Dre. You know, Dre came out Chronic 92, then returned back. I think it was what it was, like 2000 and something when he returned. It was a long gap in between there. Yeah, so I would ask you, when the album's supposed to come out?
So the first album since my comeback came out October 31st. That album is called Voodoo 4. It's available on all platforms. We got Kid, DMX, Fred the Godson, Rico Savage on that album. And then I got the God album. It's titled God, and it's an acronym Gang or Die. God drops December 25th, and that's featuring On-Site Dita from Cash Money Records. Me and him got a collaboration album together.
Oh, man, that's nice. Yeah. What is a flock, Rick? Both of y'all been in the music, and we got to talk about this. Is it a flock when other people have expectations and you don't hit it and you sign, or a flock is you letting yourself down? I'm gonna ask that question like that. What is consider a flock?
Let me go first then.
Go ahead.
I feel like when an artist expects something and it don't go the way that artist intended it to go.
So if I sign you for, I give you a advance 500,000. We put 1.2 until you got the best of everything, and we expecting at least to go platinum, and you go plywood. So like
plywood,
yeah. I mean, you're not even up in the charts or whatever. Right. So is that now? Since I put, now you say it's personal. But I fronted the money.
I mean, it's for the whole team. I feel I left that part out because the artist is who everybody banks on.
Yeah.
But the team and everybody who invests into that artist, they all take the hit.
Yeah.
You got
you messing up vacations big time.
Shit, breaking up family.
I think if there's measurable growth, you didn't flop. You just didn't get a return on your investment right away, and it might be a long-term investment. But as long as there's measurable growth and you're moving in a positive direction and it's not hindering anything or you're not going backwards, then I don't think you flopped. But if
that's why I asked the question, is that you don't own it or not? So it's no such thing with a flock with you, because if you sell 1,000,
right,
you didn't pay for no recording time, it was none up,
right,
but to that guy that just got signed that was doing good, right, before he got signed, and then I signed you and put you in a bigger studio with the best engineers and I give you a video budget, the whole nine, and then you don't sell.
I can't gauge it from what they did before me. I got to start the measurable growth from when they get with me, because I'm taking them out of their natural habitat as well. So you got to give people time to adjust to certain situations. And as a business owner or as somebody who's signing somebody, you got to be willing to assume those risks and be prepared for that as well. Like I said, I think it's only a flop when, if me and you did business, I signed you right now, and today you sold 10 records, and then next month we drop another album, you sold 8 records, you flopped. Now, if I signed you today, you sold 10 records, and the next month we drop an album and you sold 11 records, we winning. We just winning slow.
Right.
So
Right.
you also into artist management too?
Yeah,
From what I'm hearing, you sign artists too.
So I'm signed to a label, and I'm actually the president of that label. So I bring artists over to that label, but I'm talking something out with the label where I'm gonna get a situation, kind of like how Wayne had Young Money or Drake had OVO, where I'm gonna have 3 or 4 artists, not a full label, just 3 or 4 artists that I really enjoy, that I like, that I'm gonna sign to be under my umbrella, but the label is gonna fork the bill for the artists. So I'm looking for like 2 to 3 artists, and there's actually a $250,000 budget for each artist. So there'll be a $250,000 production budget for each artist. Yeah.
So you have any artists on your radar already?
I was just about to say.
There's a couple artists that I've been looking at and that I've been showing my manager. But it's not something that I want to rush right into.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of taking my time with it because I'm still getting myself together as an artist as well.
Yeah.
So I'm actually. Can you hold something? We'll host it. We can get some artists to come in like a showcase.
Yeah. Yeah, we could definitely do that because I'm like I said, we looking for artists. So like the search is never gonna stop. Well, it'll stop once I get my 2 to 3, but we can definitely hold something. And yeah, see what's out there. For
So
sure.
in 2016, baby, be looking out. We're going to do a showcase, all right? We're going to keep you guys updated, and the chance is yours, all right?
Yeah.
What, on stage, have you ever had stage fright?
I didn't when I was young, but then when I got a little older and you know what I mean, you start getting involved in things and then you get PTSD and you don't know who's in the crowd and this and that.
Yeah.
So now they can't pay me to do a show. My manager will tell you I've turned down so many shows. I just turned down a tour. If I go out and do any tour or if I do any appearances, they all like, it's an appearance. I'm coming with like 20 people. We chilling in the club. You can hand me the mic. I might rap a couple, you know what I mean, words but I'm not getting on stage. I'm not putting myself through the anxiety and none of that stuff. It ain't worth it. I don't need the bag from a performance.
So you're real selective.
Yeah, I don't need the bag from a performance at all, so I won't even take it. Not even if it's a good bag. I don't need it. It's not worth my stress.
So I thought that's where most of the bulk of the money come from as for an artist.
For an artist, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like Nipsey, you feel what I'm saying? So like if I don't wanna perform for a whole year or even do music for a whole year, I got 5 other businesses that are generating money. You know what I mean?
So Rick, you ever got stage fright?
Every time. But it wasn't from PTSD. Every time.
As a speaker, when I go out there, man, one time I was on the stage with some heavyweights, and they killing it, and I'm up. I'm rookie fresh, and I said, man, I'm a competitor though. I said, man, look. Man, go do what you do, man. Boy, when I tell you my knees was knocking in the back, boy, as they calling my name going up the stage, I said, man, I got to get myself together.
Shiver.
I actually got down on one knee and faked like I'm tying my shoe or whatever to give myself some time, to give myself some grace. That's a lot of people got stage fright, get nervous. It's a skill. It's damn sure a skill.
Yeah,
and the bigger the audience,
yeah.
man.
But that's the human component of it too.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed that a lot of entertainers, they say that if you don't get those jitters, either you on crack or something wrong with you.
And I think a lot, that's why they drink and do drugs before they go on.
For sure.
Yeah.
But for sure.
Yeah, it have to be, boy. When you out there, you see. But it's. I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and we all have done free stuff. When they pay to see you, boy, it's a whole different feeling than flocking in front of people that's free. So I always encourage people, boy, if you're gonna get on the speaking thing, go speak to them summer camps.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna flock for free in front of them. Boy, when they pay, it's a whole different thing. That's all. Yeah. So man, going into 2026, man, I really think me and Rick working on some things together. I really think it's gonna be an amazing year for a lot of people. I think you're gonna see some of the greatest turnarounds. I think some more millionaires gonna sprout up in 26 than anything. And I said, and I truly believe that What's on the agenda for 2026? What do we have that's going to be revolution? What's going to change? What's going to enhance? Take Hollywood to the next level.
So a couple things. Me and my partners are getting ready to turn our company into a corporation and partner up with a couple other people. So we're doing that.
Anybody in particular?
You.
What's up, baby? What's up, baby?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got that venture that we're working on. Me and one of my really, really good friends just started a construction, contracting, and consulting business. We just bought our first piece of land in Kenner. We're getting ready to build on that land. I think we're building 6 units on that land, 6 housing units on that land. And me and my manager Bags are looking at another building where we're getting ready to open up some office space and bring that. You know, when you go to LA, you see the Capitol Records building, and you know you're there, you're in that district. We're getting ready to bring that vibe out to this area, to the NOLA area. Not necessarily New Orleans, but New Orleans, Kenner, Metairie. It's all kind of one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a building that me and him are eyeing up, and we're getting ready to do some stuff like that there. And then we got this art incentive that we're working on. We just got with I won't say the artist's name just yet because we still got to dry the ink on the contract. But we just brought an artist on board to be the director of culture for HPS, for Hollywood Pompeii Studios. And that artist, they're going to be getting us involved with the city of Kenner, and we're going to be working on developing the Kenner City Art District.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and just giving a little bit more life to Kenner, because Kenner played a huge part in the culture of NOLA, and people know that, you know what I mean? Like, the airport has been here, you know what I mean? Like, we've been there. And, you know, I was explaining to bro the other day, like, people have family in Kenner. Just because you from New Orleans don't mean that you don't got an auntie that grew up in Kenner, that was born in Kenner.
Right.
You ain't spend weekends in Kenner.
You're right.
Right.
And it's 15 minutes away. It's right there, and everybody got to land at that airport. So where our warehouse is at, it's very industrial, and we feel that we could bring an art district, a real life art district, an economy, and a culture to that area of Susan Park.
That's a power move, though.
Man,
That's definitely a power move.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have, I feel like with that initiative alone, you're gonna have so many people pour into that.
Yeah.
Because you can go outside of New Orleans itself and experience
Right.
art, culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because people don't go to Kenner for culture.
Absolutely.
Right.
But Kenner is a beautiful place.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, that's big ups 2026, bro. I'm
26,
looking forward to seeing that.
One of the things that we do, we have a very nice game that we play called Do You Remember?
Everybody, it's for everybody.
All right, we take you from game shows, television shows. We take you down memory lane to see if you remember. You in or out?
Yeah, I'm in. Let's
All
go.
right. What is the first recorded on record or whatever? No, I'm gonna what is the first hip hop song that became nationwide? I won't say the first ever because of course it was in the streets, but the first one that blew and put hip hop on the map. I'm gonna give you the year 79.
79. Sugar Hill Gang?
Close.
I don't know. I thought Sugar Hill Gang.
Rapper's Delight.
Yeah, Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. I said a hip hop.
Yeah.
I said a hip hop. Yeah, Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah. Okay, Rapper's Delight.
So hold on. So hold
that's
on.
The name of that's the name of the group, Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, so
The song
Rapper's
is
Delight is the
Rapper's
name. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm wrong, y'all. I'm wrong. All right. When he said Sugar Hill Gang, I was about to say you were on. That's right, but I'm thinking of the group instead of the song or whatever. And when you seen them and how they were dressed in that particular time and how we dress now, was that hip? I could see. Was it hip hop, or they just was some jazz guys?
So I think I don't think they intended for anything to look like hip hop back then because there wasn't even a capped genre on it, and I think that's just what they could afford to wear. And then eventually, white people said, hey, look, all these people wear this, but we were just wearing that because that's what we could afford to wear, and then they turned it into a trend.
Right.
So I think, whatever we could grab out the closet, whatever my daddy ain't wearing, I'm taking his scarf. It look good with these boots, and I think that's hip hop. You know what I mean? And just young dudes taking what they can to make it as fly as they can.
And your time in New York, do it feel like the Mecca when you're out there?
Not now, not anymore. I get that feeling here. New Orleans right now to me feels like hip hop in the 90s in New York. So like what the 90s was going through and experiencing in New York with hip hop and with music and with culture and just that vibrant array of color and culture and music. I feel like that's what's going on right here. And I feel like a lot of people are missing it. They're not even catching it. Like, it's going on. I've been pointing it out to my man Bags. It's going on so much so that if you do your research, in 2026, Louisiana is about to be the hottest hub for billionaires in the entire world. You got, companies like Meta, Netflix, all these people bringing huge factories over here. And it's not, I'm not saying that's hip hop. I'm just saying entertainment in general. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And hip hop is part of that. Yeah. Entertainment in general is thriving in Louisiana, let alone New Orleans. So we at the right place at the right time, and people just got to capitalize on it. It's about to be a gold mine for the next 10 years.
Right. Yeah. I seen the two Meta things that they're building, the databases that they're building. Honda building the dealership, not a dealership, a manufacturer out here. So that's partly because our president, we got to make sure he signed those deals and the governor allowed with the tax break. So and we should be able to eat off it if it's right. We should be able to get a piece of it or whatever. Who was the first rapper or rap group to receive a Grammy?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with Public Enemy.
Public Enemy. That's final and last answer?
That's my final and last. I could be wrong, though.
It was DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. During the time when he was coming, I know a lot of people know Will more from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but he was a rapper first.
Oh yeah, I remember Summertime. Parents Just Don't Understand. Yeah.
Did Summertime remind you of Rakim with the storytelling on that particular song?
Yeah.
Rakim said he used to see Will and be like, "You stole my style on that particular song or whatever." It was just like, cause Rakim is considered the best storyteller. Right. On Summertime, it was just like he walked you through a nice summer day or whatever, and that was nice. But he came back. He took a hiatus, and when he came back, Get Jiggy With Me, actually, they went 10-time platinum. Yeah. That was the album, the song of the year. And you wouldn't think that, man, Will come back and the song, you remember the song Getting Jiggy With It? Nah. You don't remember that?
I don't know.
Yeah. It was 99. So they won a Grammy in 89. And right now, Jigga lead the pack with the most Grammys for a hip-hop rap artist or whatever. You think that's well-deserving?
From Jay-Z?
By their work?
I don't know about body of work wise, but definitely like the work ethic and the things he did he's a mogul. He deserved whatever he worked for, but body of work, I think there's other people with a little bit better of a body
Rick,
of work.
what you think?
Yeah, I feel the same too.
Who body work would you say if you put next to him? My favorite album of all time is Blueprint, the first one. Yeah. So who would you put next to him? Body of work, album from album.
See, I'm a little younger. And from New Orleans, a person that resonates with me is Wayne.
I say this, what I like Wayne, but one thing I used to like about being a Jay-Z fan, Jay-Z was like Jordans. He brought out an album every year. Right. So 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, Jigga was bringing out an album every year. I don't like my top artists bringing out an album, then unless the album's still hot, like Jeezy had something that was spectacular. When Jeezy dropped what that was, Recession, yeah. He could have ride that for 2 years. Then after that, you got to come with something. I don't like the wait, the delay. And I think Wayne, he's one of the ones that he kept us with a new album or whatever. So you got tired. Even Tip got a good thing or whatever. So if I would have to say, I would say that if you had to put a face on it right now, I don't think single wise. I think this is because Jigga, and that, I always tell people that's from New York, it's a bias thing. When you're from New York, it's like going to Duke of North Carolina. You get the benefit of the doubt, and they'll put the money behind that. I think if it was reverse, it won't be there. I think they put the money, but I think Wayne do got for singles and getting everybody.
I agree.
Appeal. I think he should, but when you going up against that New York media force and just got them behind, they're gonna put the money behind
their population too.
Huh?
Their population.
It's almost like if you go to North Carolina or Duke, you can score 14 points a game. If you go to Suno, you gotta literally average 30.
But you know what really did it for Jay? People don't. I've been broke it down, right? Jay's a smart dude. Jay wouldn't have got any of that. That's not all off of, that's why I say, like, I gotta respect it. He played the game. It ain't even like, all right, I'm gonna break it down. Jay was popping in New York, but not popping to the point where labels wanted to give him a deal. They didn't want to give him no money. So Jay's not dumb. Jay did a lot of traveling when he was young. New Orleans was one of those places, right? So if you go when Juvie had the high record, Jay still wasn't the biggest thing yet, but Jay
hopped on it.
Yeah, but he had enough reach to be able to get on that. So then he sees, ooh, this really helped my sales. I got a different demographic, but New Orleans is too small for what I'm trying to achieve, and there's no way that I fit in with the Florida market at all. And there's no real big bridge between Florida and New Orleans unless you're talking Miami and New Orleans, which is weird because that's way down south. But the rest of Florida don't really come vibe with New Orleans like how Miami be vibing with New Orleans, right? So then what happens right after that is Jay's looking, and you got two guys from the south that are making crazy noise, and they're going platinum, they're going gold without even having to leave their state, and that's Pimp C and Bun B. Right? You could go platinum in Texas without having to leave Texas.
Right.
Like, for real. There's artists that go multi-platinum that you never heard of.
Lil Flip.
Because they're in Texas, and they stay in Texas, and they know their demographic. So Texas is the biggest state, right? And like I said, you could really do numbers in Texas. So what does Jay do? Jay gets a hold of Pimp C, Bun B, and then he does the Big Pimpin' off the, right? Yeah.
Right.
And then that became his biggest record ever when he jumped on that one. Right. That's what broke him. It hit the Nutty Professor soundtrack. Now he's getting movie money off of soundtracks and all of that stuff. So Jay sits and says, well, I can't be in a group with Pimp C and Bun B. Like, that's silly. I'm Jay-Z. This is Rockefeller. But what can I do to forever get a grip on that Texas market? How can I get... So then he meets a young, beautiful girl named Beyonce from Texas, which is the biggest state. I'm not saying this exactly. How I'm, you know what I mean? How I'm dissecting it. Like, so then you got this young, beautiful girl named Beyonce from a new group named Destiny's Child, who is popping all over the country. New York is jamming it. LA's jamming it. It don't sound like it's from Texas. It don't sound like it's from the South. It just sounds like three fire-ass girls that can sing. Right. Jay gets around that. Jay wipes it up. Jay marries Beyonce. Now he has Texas. He got it.
Right.
He got it, which is one of the biggest markets. And then when you got Texas, you automatically got Louisiana. Yeah. You automatically got
Mississippi, Alabama.
Automatically. And you come from New York. What you think that? How you think that's gonna play out for you?
I agree.
So the final question is, how much did Smokey mother give him for a pack of cigarettes on the movie Friday?
I think it was like $237.
That's how much he gave him?
I think it was.
And what his words was to her?
That ain't enough.
Make it enough. He gave him $2.
$2. That's close. I said, all right. There was no change with it?
No, it was just $2.
Okay, all right.
So, man, I'm going to ask you this question. Are you willing to come back and be a friend of this show?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Let everybody know, look directly in the camera, where they can find you from, how they can get in contact with you.
Hollywood Pompeii across all social platforms. And for anybody trying to do any bookings or business, you could text or call 484-516-4224.
Once again, man, I'm the Honorable Darren D. Purnell, the street speaker himself. We have a book that's available on Amazon called Businessmen. Don't wait, run, go get it right now. Yo, Rick.
Yeah, you heard the man. Businessmen is on Amazon right now. I hope this episode was just as informative to you as it was to us. And for us, you can find us on EraBody's podcast. That's EraBody's podcast on all social media platforms. And we out.
We out.
Peace.